Hi, this is Michael Johnson, and this is a very special conversation. If you're a distributor, a customer, or even thinking about Herbalife, our products, our ability to help you lose weight in a healthy, nutritious manner, you got to tune in. You got to watch this show because I have a very special guest, our head of our scientific advisory board, the head of the Center for Human Nutrition at UCLA, an author, someone who has written various articles on subjects from nutrition to diet to what's happened to man over time, and unfortunately our incredible obesity problem, which we're going to address specifically today. His name is David Heber. He's a good friend, he's a pal, and he is the mentor of Herbalife in all things nutrition. Hi, David.
Thank you. Michael, great to be here.
So, David, I'm crazy this weekend, and the reason we're doing this show is because this weekend I read this article in the Weekend Journal, Wall Street Journal, about our big problem, it says right here. And this made me nuts. It made me completely frantic about it. I said, I got to talk to David, I got to get him on the air, and people have to understand two things. One is that this obesity problem is costing billions of dollars to the global health problem. It's causing billions of dollars to governments, putting weight on things that are not only on our bodies, but it's putting weight on economic systems. And two, we have a solution at Herbalife. And our distributors and our customers have a pathway to a healthier lifestyle. So the first question I have for you is, what the heck happened? What happened that got us so fat, so fast in this society, in our global society?
Well, Michael, if you were born between 1975 and 1985, you were born into the greatest nutritional disaster in the history of mankind because of the development of high fructose corn syrup and the development of vegetable oils, both subsidized by the government, completely took over our diet. At the same time...
Wait. So stop there. So they took over our diet. What happened? How would they? So everybody started using these ingredients?
It's an ironic thing that, you know, that little 25-cent cola went up to a 79-cent gallon of soft drink. Went from, 150 calories to 600 calories. All of a sudden, we had fast foods developing as they've never developed before. So for 99 cents, you can get a meal. And not only can you get more calories, but you can ironically get less nutrition.
Do people, they change their diets? When I was a kid growing up in the Midwest, my mother put vegetables, she put meat, she put potatoes on the table. We drank sodas when we were a kid. Was there a difference in the sodas then and today? Was my mother just lucky? Were we eating things differently then? Or were we just on the path?
All of those things. Primarily also the disruption of the family. How often do people actually sit down and eat dinner together? Everybody's running around, no one's really sitting down and having a family dinner. So we remove the social element of eating every day. Daily nutrition involves people getting together, exchanging ideas over a meal. My dietitians often will put up a set of candles along with food to indicate the social aspect of nutrition. So eating too quickly, eating without even looking at your food, what we call unconscious eating, and what a lot of these fast foods have in common, they're so easy to chew and digest, your appetite centers don't even have time to tell you that you're full.
So in this article, I hear what you're saying there, but in this article, and I experienced this in my own life, that the human animal is a natural forager. And so, I'll find myself sometime in the kitchen foraging around. Thank God, and I'm not just saying this because I'm the CEO of Herbalife, but thank God I will go to an Herbalife snack 90% of the time because they're available. They're in my cabinets, and I've got shakes in there, and we have teas, and I have soy nuts, and I have Herbalife protein bars, and so I naturally go for that. But hey, listen, I'm not above and beyond. I'll go for a muffin, a donut every now and then. But frankly, I know, I got a little trigger in me now that says you're killing yourself with calories here. So how does the human being either fight this foraging? Is there a method to that? And we'll come to the products in just a minute. But is this something that so we've increased the size of things, we've supersized, as there's a movie about that. We have changed the food product itself, and we stopped getting exercise. What are we going to do?
Well, we've got to do all those things and also reduce stress, get better sleep. Turns out that people are addicted to eating. Mankind was starving for the last 50,000 years. That foraging gives you a positive pleasure. Food is a comfort. When we try to interrupt that comfort and try to fight it, you eventually end up eating more food. People who don't plan what they're going to eat end up falling into a fast food restaurant. So you've got to plan what you've got to have it in your environment, as you talk about, and you've got to be rewarded. It's got to taste good. It's got to give you that positive feeling of fullness. It's got to have enough protein to really get to your brain and turn off your hunger center. If you're eating the old joke about Chinese food, high fat, high sugar, 2 hours later you're hungry again. It's lacking the protein. We look at a lot of these fast foods, they don't have protein. They have a lot of carbohydrate, refined sugar, and not enough things, no things that really satisfy your appetite.
All right, so let's get real specific then.
Yeah.
So in front of us right here, I have a typical fast food meal. We have the burger, the fries, and the soda.
Right.
1,400 calories. Is there any nutritional value in this stuff?
Well, there are nutrients in here, but they're the wrong ones. There's hidden fat, hidden sugar. There's 95 grams of sugar in this meal, 86 grams just in the cola.
This is a meal.
They call it a meal.
Okay, so let's break down this meal. Let's do that real fast. In this meal, I've got a little chart here, and I put my glasses on, and it says burger in here.
So you've got 54 grams of fat in here. That's more fat. That's almost twice the fat that I would recommend to somebody eating a 1,500 calorie diet. It's almost all the calories a woman needs for the whole day at 1,400 calories.
Total fat grams, 29.
Right.
Bad news.
Absolutely.
All the way around the horn. And saturated fats, 10 grams.
Very bad. We've got way too much fat, and you know the salt, there's 1.4 grams of salt in this meal. People are supposed to eat 3 or 4 grams total for the whole day. You've got 1.4, and look at this, 86 grams of sugar just in the cola alone.
Well, I want to stay on this burger just for a second. 1,040 milligrams, a gram of salt.
A gram of salt.
Okay. You know, I'm going to carbohydrates. Carbohydrates, good thing in some areas, right?
If you get them from fruits and vegetables, these are what are called refined carbohydrates. The only part of this that's whole grain are those little sesame seeds on the bun, but the bun itself has 6 grams of sugar and all refined carbohydrates.
Dietary fiber, that's a good thing.
That's a good thing, but you just count them up. That's just those seeds on top of the bun.
Is that what
that's
that
it.
is? That's all it is. So, but I'm only getting 3 grams
Right.
of it.
The rest of it's just plain white enriched flour bread.
9 grams of sugar
in the bun.
bun.
They put it in the bun so it'll brown better. They actually oxidize the sugar to give it a brown color. So this is what I call my brown beige diet. No colors
No
there.
color at all. So let's go to these boys. This Eiffel Tower of fries here that we've got here. 500 calories.
500 calories.
Right
and the
here.
secret ingredient that gives it that great smell is a beef hide extract. It smells like beef.
You like that smell?
Everybody does.
I smell that smell. I swear, do they pump that smell in the air?
They do. As they're cooking the fries in the oil, it's coming out in the air. You can smell that fast food restaurant blocks away.
This has basically almost no value for nutrition in here as I look across this chart here. And then let's go to a large soda here.
Right.
This is a 32 fluid ounce cup. That's about the size that you see a lot of people walking around with. This has 0 daily nutritional value. Zero, no vitamin A, no vitamin C, no calcium, no iron, no protein, nothing.
But
It's got sugar.
And it's got some acid in it. You can clean your carpets with this stuff. And I wish it had table sugar, and it actually doesn't. It has this high fructose corn syrup, which, as I said...
So this much sugar.
This much sugar. That's amazing.
A ton of sugar.
Ton of sugar. 21 teaspoons of sugar. Can you imagine adding 20? If you had a glass of iced tea this size, how many teaspoons of sugar would you put in there? Maybe 2, maybe 3. You wouldn't put in 21.
So this is what happened. People think this is a meal.
That's right.
Let's go to another meal. This is called a meal replacement by the FDA and by
That's a scientific name for it.
That's a scientific name, not just the FDA, but it's a scientific name called a meal replacement. This is a Herbalife shake.
Right.
Here. Run these two against each other.
So you look at 1,400 calories here, 260 there.
Okay. This meal costs $5. This is under $2.
Now you're talking.
So now I have an economic savings. So if let's say I did this every day for 10 weeks, say just the business days. So I'm saving $3 a day.
Right.
So that's 50 days. I've saved $150.
This is what we call the getting to the masses of people around the world. This is an international epidemic. A lot of people don't have a lot of money to pay for expensive food. In many countries, this is considered what we consider a fast food meal. It's considered a luxury meal, that $5 meal you're talking about.
Right.
So the number of people around the world, for the first time in human history, there are more overweight and obese people than people who are underweight. And countries that never had obesity before, Michael, today are seeing all the problems associated with obesity. Countries like India and China are the epicenter of this epidemic. So Herbalife is global, it's international, it's a fantastic solution to what we now see as this global nutrition transition, which is a serious problem.
The Atlantic magazine, the Fat Nation in here. This is Newsweek, and this has got Michelle Obama on the cover because she's talking about feed your children well. She's on a mission for nutrition along with we.
Absolutely.
The culture of corpulence, American innovations, food, transportation, technologies are threatening to supersize us all. Does obesity rehab work in here? This is Time magazine. This is every single day. All we read about is obesity, obesity, obesity. And we've got the solution. This is what is just absolutely driving me crazy, is that my friends, my relatives, my acquaintances and people are killing themselves with this stuff.
Absolutely. You know, there are 3 times as many kids obese today as there were 30 years ago in 1960. And today, children are forecast to live less long than their parents for the first time in human history. So what do people have to do? They have to get this healthy diet and lifestyle you're talking about, and they have to role model for their children. They have to bring the family together. Daily nutrition, that's what you guys are all about.
So, breakfast?
Most important meal of the day.
So this would be a great breakfast for me.
Great breakfast. I had one this morning myself. You have to start the day with a healthy breakfast like that. It'll change your dietary pattern for the rest of the day.
So heart health, clinically
Absolutely.
proven, inexpensive.
Correct.
It is a no-brainer. It's an absolute no-brainer. Now we've got ways for people to experience around the world through club atmosphere, weight loss challenges. We've got people coming in who are going to experience this, build a business model on top of it. I mean, we're talking only the product side right now, and there's this huge revenue opportunity to get people healthier. I always say, we're sitting at this intersection of health and wealth.
Exactly.
This opportunity for what you call the mission for nutrition. I
Absolutely.
call it too, and you always talk about your agents of change.
Right. 2 million agents of change around the world. Those are people talking to other people. You know, word of mouth is the most powerful thing in the world. You do something good for somebody else, you spread this word around. It's fantastic. And you have to take a social and psychological approach to obesity. It's not just a physical approach, but the hugging that goes on, the love that goes on, the positive feelings people get. That's all part of it.
Why aren't more people doing this? Why is this more prevalent than this?
Well, I think we just have to get the message out as we are, and we're growing every year. But I think that there are many people who just don't know any better. They just go to work every day, they commute in, they don't plan their food, they wait until they get hungry, they're so hungry they just get out there and fall into a fast food restaurant. We're #1 in fatness around the world, 65% of our population overweight or obese. This costs our healthcare system a huge amount. Unless we address the problem of obesity, healthcare reform is not going to work. It's not going to save money unless we do something about prevention. We've got to do something about prevention.
Is obesity the #1 healthcare problem in this country?
I would say that smoking and obesity are the #1 and 2 problems in this country today, and I think that obesity is something we haven't addressed appropriately, and it's something where there's so much to be gained by getting rid of this through preventive efforts, through communities, through schools, through families, through person-to-person efforts around the world. And it's going to take a grassroots effort. You know, you can't call the plumber after the pipe starts leaking, and to go to your doctor after you've already got diabetes, after you've already got high blood pressure, it's too late. You're going to be helped by medicine, but let's not depend on that as a country. Let's not depend on living any way we want and eating this stuff and then going to the doctor 20 years later. Oh, doc, how did I get high blood pressure? How did I get a stroke? Why is my cholesterol high? Why am I having a heart attack?
So let me go back to the fundamental question. You know, 6 to 7 minutes away makes that foraging pretty easy, right? Now I forage in my car.
Absolutely.
You know, I used to do it on foot or on a horse or somewhere. Now I just do it in my car, and my choices are immense. I can go to a donut shop, fast food. I can stop in a grocery store and get, you know, food over the counter. It's tremendous, the opportunity. It's devastating, the result. Right? So why? Why do people do this? Is there something in here that makes me want to have this again mentally?
Taste, cost, and convenience. If you combine sweet and fat together, that's what people want. They want creamy, sweet, fat, salty, and just get it in quickly, and they want to go on to the next thing. So paying attention to your food, paying attention to your nutrition, very important.
So people put fuel in their body every single day. I mean, we do 2 things every day. Most people, you know, everybody eats every day.
Right.
And most people spend money every day. And so there are, you know, 2 things that I'm trying to drive home, and we're trying to drive home with this message here, is that this is a better meal, tastes better to me, frankly. I think the taste of these is phenomenal. And sometimes people say to me, well, you know, you don't have enough choices. Well, heck, we have flavors galore in this. We have snacks. We have, you know, soy nut snacks here. You can have a bar in the afternoon. You can have a tea for metabolism. You can have a hydration product from Herbalife. You can have an energy product. All these things. So what's it going to take? What's it going to take for this country, for our world, to change their mindset?
Well, I think people have to taste the shake first because you feel the difference after the very first shake. And what happens when you have that protein, it goes to your brain, gets you awake, gives you energy, gives you ability to think, and you'll feel more energetic than ever before in your life. When you finish with this meal, your blood is going to look like creamy soup full of fat, and you're going to feel tired. You know, I once had a calculus class in university. I ate this kind of a lunch when I was a young man, got a C+ on the exam, because when I went in there, all the blood from my head went down to my abdomen to digest all this fat. This is far more digestible, will give you an easy boost of energy. You're going to have more mental focus. You're going to be in a better mood. All those things are going to be positive compared to this meal right here. Amazing.
Why are you here?
I'm here because if I lived to be 120 years old, I wouldn't be able to help as many people around the world as I can help doing this type of thing today, educating people, getting out there and spreading this message around the world.
I couldn't say it better. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Johnson here. 7 years in Herbalife, and the passion's never, ever been higher than it is today. Go out there and change somebody's lives. Go out there and fix somebody's life. You've got the opportunity, the great product. You've got the story. It's David Heber. Good to see you, buddy.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.